Let's get Harris LaChance into the show. And Harris Harris, you look like you're chilling in the cut, man. How are things?
Exactly, man. I'm chilling, bro. It's been good.
Yeah, good to see you, man. So let's talk about you. Let's talk about things like how now that your regular season's over. First of all, the experience with Dixie State, Utah Tech. How was that game for you? How did you feel about that whole thing?
Oh man, it was so awesome because, like I talked about last time, saw my brother. We got an awesome picture. We're gonna have it for generations to come, and we kicked their crap around. So I was excited about that too, and
I bet you were.
I had bragging rights. At the table, so it was good.
And by the way, you snatched another soul in that game. I saw you hip tossing bros left and right. Like, you have quite the highlight tape. You know, now that the regular season's over, am I allowed? Because I haven't been allowed. You're like, well, we don't take time to look back on things. Okay, well, now the season's over. So can you look back on your highlight tape of soul snatching action this year? Like, you have a pretty good body count at this point.
Yeah, it's been fun, man. We take time to go look back. I mean, yeah, for sure, but you don't. When it's week to week with the games, I mean, it's tough because you're like, okay, well, now we gotta focus on the next team. But now you're right. I mean, we don't even know what bowl game we're going to. It's been one heck of a year, man. I've been having fun.
Yeah, and one of the interesting things, obviously, you guys are experiencing some change with Ilaisia Tuiaki, stepping away from the program. How dangerous are expectations at BYU? Because I think you guys may be a victim of your own success. I think you've had a heck of a run under Kalani with 10-win seasons, and expectations I think were really high. But how difficult has the struggle been this year? And do you guys feel like you handled losing well? Did you guys handle hard well enough this year?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. The expectations are super high, and they should be. The bar is set very high, and we are a victim of our own success, I'd say. But I think that's good, and I think that's necessary for this program. Throughout all the time I've been here, BYU has always strived to be that great BYU that most people know it as. So if we need to make changes, we're going to make changes, and that's that. And I'd like to give, Coach Tuiaki a shout out. Just say thanks for everything he's done for me. I mean, he was one of the first ones that recruited me, and I told him that when he left. I was so grateful for him and everything he did. But handling the losses this year, I felt like we did our best, man. We did our best, and we left it all out there to repair the damages and to um, mend our wounds and try and be better and fix why we were losing and things like that. So, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
for the most part, I mean, I can't speak for everybody because, especially as an offensive lineman, we're in our own world. And so we are constantly trying to do our thing. And other position rooms was a different, I don't know because I wasn't there. But I do know that, like I said in the beginning, that this is BYU and the bar is very high, and that if there's a problem, it's going to be fixed. And if you're the problem, you're going to be fixed. So
Yeah.
things like that,
Well,
like, and
and
you
that's the
need that.
reality of sports. Let's be
Yeah,
honest. I mean, you're a professional athlete. When
yeah,
you look at the way that you guys perform and the way you guys prepare, I mean, you are judged by wins and losses. You are not, you are not judged. Nobody gets to hear you guys grade yourselves. Nobody gets to see all those weights you lift. But I mean, the reality is it's wins and losses. But I also think we're talking about BYU. And this is a really important question in my mind anyway. We talk about love, family, togetherness. You guys are human beings. Ilaisia Tuiaki and any other change that comes to bear on this staff or on this team. You guys are human beings at the end of the day. And I think it's really easy to forget about that, Harris, because nobody saw the first conversation you ever had with Ilaisia. Nobody saw that recruiting and nobody knew the dream that was playing at BYU, right? Like, is it too easy to forget about the humanity that goes into performing and winning at a high level?
um, no, I mean you have this. If you're in it, you're in it, man. You know what I mean? But if you're from the outside looking in, it's a totally different perspective always. Um, But at the same time, you're right. I mean, no matter what, if you have this awesome relationship with some buddy, but they're not performing, I mean, at some point you have to make a business decision, man, because you have to remember, this is football, brother. This is what we're doing. You know what I mean? We got to
Yeah.
win, and winning
Yeah.
fixes everything. So
Man,
that's
isn't that the
number one
truth?
priority. Yes. Yeah.
And it's unfortunate. I mean, it is what it is as we talk to Harris LaChance, presented by Papa Murphy's Pizza. Let's talk about accountability, because I feel like I've asked you about it every week. One of the things we hear so much about is in football, accountability and whatnot. Have you guys had enough accountability from the coaching staff to the players this season?
Oh, yeah. I mean, as far as that goes, I mean, everybody has been taking all the blame on themselves. Mostly the coaches. I mean, our coach A-Rod, our OC is constantly like, that was on me, and we're like, no, like, we should have just ran it better. You know what I mean? We're the players making the plays out there. We need to do that. So we're constantly trying to honestly have an accountability battle almost, and it's like, okay, but let's just fix it. Like,
Yeah, and that's hard when everybody's trying to take blame. I think, again, fans are fanatics for a reason, right? I mean, but everybody wants to point fingers. Pointing fingers doesn't win football games, though, right? And
yeah.
I think one of the things that we all talk about so much in football is that, yeah, you need that level of accountability, but I'm sure you're going to give me a positive answer on this, but when I look at the performance, it's one thing to have accountability, but is there a development that comes out of that accountability in your mind?
Yeah, I'd say so for the most part. I think, yeah, I'll just say yeah.
Yes. Okay, well, that's good. That's a great answer. And then the other guy I want to ask you about is Harvey Unga. This is a guy that obviously has a long, time, has played at BYU, is now coaching at BYU. I mean, and we've talked about how important the running game is. Like, what has he been like to be around for you guys? Because obviously, as offensive linemen, I mean, you have to have a good relationship with your run game, from coaches to players. Like, how has Harvey Unga been to be around?
I love Harvey. He's like such an awesome dude, such just a humble, spiritual giant, you would say, as some people say. But he's a great coach. He's constantly getting on people's butts to run the right tracks and things like that. And I mean, we have struggled with that this year. But he's a great guy though, and yeah.
You're a big Harvey Unga fan. That's good.
I am. I'm a huge Harvey Young fan.
So, the other thing that comes to mind now is, as we talk about, like, we don't know where you guys are going bull wise, but what do you do to stay focused? What do you guys do right now this time of year where you're not playing football? What do you guys do this time of year to stay focused and stay ready?
So we had Monday and Tuesday off, and now we go back to practice today. So we're just practicing this the rest of the week. We don't know what bowl game we're going to. We don't know who we're playing. So it shouldn't be too crazy of a practice. But we're just staying here, staying locked in. We had like a little players meeting yesterday and kind of talked about what are we going to do, boys? We got to finish out strong, play one more game. It's fun. It's good.
Do players only meetings work when you guys, like, I've always wondered about that, and in good times and in bad times, because I think we all think that players only have players only meetings when things are bad. You don't. You have them when they're good as well. Like, what does that do for you guys when there's no coaches and there's no, authority figure in the room? Like, what does it do for you guys to have those productive conversations?
I think it just makes it more real. I mean, we're the ones that are doing it all, right? So, you get the coaches out of there, we can be maybe a little bit more honest. I don't know. I mean, I feel like some guys we just give the time over sometimes. Some guys can just talk and say what's on their mind. Some guys are like, say something completely out of the blue. You're like, what? Whatever. But other, you know what I mean? But everybody gets their opinion. We all talk about it. We're all like, okay, well, this is what we're going to do. And I think it rallies us all to play for each other better.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And then a couple other things, obviously. So, you talked a lot about, I remember vividly you talking about Pini Katoa, because he was a guy that you have a good relationship with. When you look back at the relationships that you've built, talk about your relationship with him, because I think he's had an under the radar career at BYU. He's a guy that's had to fight for everything that he's had, and I think he's really this season. I think he's just had some really big moments, not only for the team but for himself. So, what does it mean when you battle with that guy week in and week out? What's he been like as a teammate?
He's such a great guy too. He's such a great teammate, and he'll do anything for you, man. He'll give you the shirt off his back, and he is such a hard worker. And he comes to work every day with his lunch pail, as they say, and we just kick ass together in practice. And honestly, Monty, that's what I love the most. I think about my career here is I love the games. Don't get me wrong, I love them and everything, but the days when we're practicing hard and we're running 1,000 plays or whatever, and the sun's starting to go down, and we're out there in our own little world, man, and everybody's had school and it's been a long day, but we're out there still practicing. And you're just kind of like tired, but you're having fun. Those are, I think, was what I'll remember the most, and just kind of that brotherhood, and also that just fun of thing of just playing the game, man, and like just in your own zone, and I'm like nothing else matters in this moment. We're just like with the boys having fun, running plays. It's the best feeling ever. I actually I love the end of practices like that. It's like nothing else, man. It's where I'd rather be no matter what.
But isn't it the jokes in the meeting room? Isn't it the bus rides maybe, or the road trips, or you had an important conversation in the weight room, or the game is why you're there. But I'm a big believer in that. I hear that all the time from guys that I talk to that are like, hey, it's not the game moment, but what you're going to miss is you're going to miss those moments when you're looking at a beautiful sunset, or I think that's what makes sports so great. The locker room, the bus trip, the confidential conversations, right?
Oh, dude, that's what I'm saying. Because in practice, I mean, we're all chilling, bro, and we're all like, whatever, like making jokes. Like, I mean, us as an O line, we have so many inside jokes. I mean, if somebody were to like have us mic'd up, they'd be like, "What the hell are these guys talking about, man?" Like, but it's so freaking funny, bro, and it's just so much fun.
Yeah.
Because you get in that zone of just you're with the boys, and you're right. I mean, after practice, we're all just taking our tape off, just messing around, dude. You got music blasting. You're like, dude, this is literally the best feeling ever,
Yep.
and I'm so lucky to even be here, bro. Because it's like, there's nothing else that can compares to this. Just being with the boys, yeah, riding the bus, eating dinner together after practice. I mean, the list goes on and on, and it's those little things that's
Yeah.
like that's why you do it, man. Nothing else. I mean, I don't like you don't care about all the bull crap. It's just that's why you do it, man, because you love this. You love
But
this.
come on, I thought BYU social media is pretty good. So they had you guys coming out to practice asking about whose place you would go to if they were cooking Thanksgiving. And I want to say that Gunther won. I want to say that most people said Talmadge Gunther is the place they would go. What did you guys wind up doing for Thanksgiving? Like, did you have good food? Like, where did you guys end up as a team?
So most guys went home. The day before, though, the night before, we had Thanksgiving dinner at the school, and we had this big catering company came in, and it was really good food, and so we all ate together there. And that's what I'm saying, man. It was a freaking little Thanksgiving with the boys in our eating area, and it was like the funnest thing ever. We're all joking around, and then we're like, all right, see you later, take it easy. And we had practice in the morning that next morning
Peace
on
out.
Thanksgiving morning. And even that, I was like, this year I remember walking out on the field, and I was like, man, like it's Thanksgiving. I thought most of the time I'm like complaining, like, oh geez, like I don't want to be here. I just want to be with my family, really. You know what I mean? But this year I was kind of surprised myself. I was like, no, man, like I don't know, like this could be my last go around. So it's like, dude, I'm practicing. I'm literally like in my pads on Thanksgiving. Like everybody wants to do that when they can't do it anymore, and I'm like, and I'm doing it, and I love it. And so
Yeah.
that gave me a great perspective. But
So are you for sure? Okay. So you've told me I feel like you've said repeatedly you're not coming back.
yeah, oh yeah. That's
So you
true.
are or you're not?
I'm not coming back. No.
Okay,
No, I'm
great.
going. My plan is to go to league. Yeah, I've already uh, committed to an agent and everything. So I'm excited. It's a
Wow.
new chapter for me. Um, and
So wait,
that's
you're saying you're kind of a big deal now, like you have an agent and you're ready to rock and roll.
I'm not a big deal at all, man. But I'm trying to be one day, maybe.
Wow, we'll have to talk about that at some point. Real quick though, how's marriage? How's like the baby's great? I follow you guys on social media, so I see the little guy running around. Like how has the dynamic of football baby impacted your marriage? How many tests do you guys have on a regular basis in your marriage?
Oh yeah, no, it is tough. I mean, when I'm not here a lot, um, my wife, she has to take care of little baby, and it's a sacrifice for sure. But she's so wonderful and does such a wonderful job. It's so supportive of me in my dream, and I think it really helps too when I am slinging dudes around. I mean, that's a big motivation. You know what I mean? This is my family, and I'm here to provide for them and to do my best for them, man. So that's my motivation. That's what I'm gonna do. Um,
So Mrs. Monty has gotten on me of late because like 2 weeks ago, like my dog was sick. So she's like, I'm doing the dishes. I'm cleaning up dog vomit. What are you doing? Like, are you the guy that will do the dishes just because okay, the baby's been quiet or maybe the baby's been under the weather. I need to do the dishes here. I need to step in and take the garbage out. Like, are you that guy?
oh well, dude, everybody's got to be. If you want to be a good husband, you got to be that guy. Not
Yep.
all the time. Listen, I mean, and my wife's great too. She recognizes if I'm freaking so tired. You know what I mean? She cuts me some slack, and she's way better than I am. But I mean, I try and be that guy. I see some, you know what I mean? I'll just do it, and
Yep.
hopefully she'd say the same. I mean, I try.
Well, and that's the important thing is you have to try. Trust me, dude. I've been married for 23 years and I still have to, because it's a choice every day to be in love. Like I think all of us, everybody in a relationship knows that every day, right? You love your wife, but you have to make that choice. And I think it's those little things. Take out the trash, do the dishes. Don't have to be asked, man. I'm telling you, those are the keys to happy wife, happy life. Is
Yeah,
definitely, and I know you already know that because we've talked about that. But anyway, hey, great to see you. I look forward to talking to you next week. Hopefully, we'll know your bowl assignment soon. You don't know your bowl assignment, right? There's no news you want to break right now.
dude, I wish I knew. I'm just as curious as everybody else. I've heard a lot that December 17th, but just the day they don't know which bowl. But I don't even know if that's true. That's just a
Okay.
rumor going around town. So
Do you want fun in
who knows?
sun? Do you want a dome? Like, what are you guys hoping for? You hoping for Vegas? Like, what are you thinking?
Well, I mean, me personally, I think a lot of the boys would agree too. I mean, we've been through a lot of weird bowl games. Shreveport was definitely on top of that list. Um,
Right?
we can talk about that later too. I'll spill all the beans on that place, man. But I'd go, yeah, I'd go Sun Fun. I mean, I heard maybe New Mexico. That would be
Okay.
kind of cool. We could go there, be warm, and then you come back, right before Christmas.
Yep.
It's all snowy. I mean, that's a good deal, man. Go play the last
Okay.
football game Christmas time, but it's sunny, and you come back and it's all fun, and you still have Christmas together. If you get like a bowl game on the 27th, I mean, it's great for everybody else who's just sitting at home, during the
Yep.
Christmas break,
Yep.
except for you, because now you're
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, and then
doing that.
Christmas isn't Christmas, and
Yeah, you
yeah.
have Christmas in the hotel. You practice on Christmas, so that's kind of worst case scenario. I don't know, but I don't want to jinx myself. So everybody forget what I just said.
Were
So
you at the South Beach Bowl?
the South Beach Bowl, I wasn't at that one. No.
Yeah, that would have probably been on top of your list after that melee. But Shreveport, yeah, we'll have to talk about Shreveport at some time. Glamorous Shreveport for the BYU bowl game.
Yeah.
I am not a raw crawfish guy in any way, shape, or form. And we all know that food at the bowl game is really important, right?
Oh, dude, they had a freaking roasted alligator, like in the middle of the table, and it was just like it was cool. But then like we ate it, and it was like
Oh, no,
it was not,
no. See, no. I know my limitations. Alligator on the. No, I'm good.
it
All
was
right.
an alligator with like a turkey, like a little turkey in his mouth. We're like, this is wild, man. This is
Was it
awesome.
good?
It was okay. It was not very good.
That's a no. That's a no.
Yeah.
It's that. See, my
Well, I don't know.
suspicions
Maybe
have been
what if
confirmed.
that guy hears this interview, I'll feel so bad. I'll be like, oh, sorry, dude. Like the guy.
That's amazing.
You know what I mean? I don't know.
Papa Murphy's pizza is definitely better than grilled alligator. I'm gonna throw that out there. Harris, always good to see you, my guy. We'll talk to you next week. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, Monty.
Appreciate you too. There you go. Harris LaChance right there.